Thank you for joining us for our message recap. I read this week that Forbes magazine reports that out of the 323 million people who call themselves Americans, 40% make New Year's resolutions. Now take a wild guess at how many of those people actually follow through on those New Year's resolutions. Only 8%. 8%. Why do so many make resolutions and so few follow through on them? Well, I believe that Paul the Apostle gives us some clues as to why that is. He says in Romans 12 and verse 1, he says, I want you to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. Man, that's what I want to say to God in 2016. I want to give you all my life. I want to give you all my energy, all my life being devoted to your will and to your ways. But Paul says, in order to do that, in order to live that kind of life, verse 2, he goes on to say, then do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I guess the question today is this: what do you want to do in 2016? Do you want to be a conformer, or do you want to be a transformer? I read a story this week about a famous American painter named Jackson Pollock. He was famous for taking paint and splattering it on canvases, and he'd make these beautiful pictures. And they began to study these paintings, and they found that these Pollocks actually had a painting on top of a painting, on top of a painting, on top of a painting. In some Jackson Pollocks, there were actually 7 paintings on top of the original. And I guess what that means to me in the context of us being renewed in 2016 is maybe God wants to do a Pollock on you. Maybe he wants to say, you got some good splatterings over here, you got some good moments over here, but over here, we got to renew a few things. And as we let him renew us and remake us, we can be transformed into the image that he wants us to be. Paul also said one time that all things work together for good to those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purposes. In other words, God has this unique ability to take the good and the bad and the ugly and all the pain and all your past and somehow work it around and mold it and shape it to where it winds up working out for your ultimate good. And I want to encourage you this year in 2016 to begin to lean into God like never before. Trust that all the past experiences, God is going to use those. He's going to do something new in your life. He's going to do a little Pollock over your life because you are in the process of becoming something new and fresh and great for God. So I hope you'll all join us next weekend as we talk about how God wants to transform our time. What if God wanted to transform our schedules, our calendar, our agenda to mold us and shape us into the people he wants us to be? It's going to be great. Hope to see you there. Bring somebody with you who needs to hear the message of Jesus Christ. God bless you all.